everybody, and welcome back to another episode of Heels Up. I am Vlad St. Valentine. With me again is Mr. Reggie Lincoln, the only one who matters.
Oh, yeah.
Unfortunately, Caidan's not with us tonight. He's going to be out for a little while, and our thoughts and prayers go with him again like they did with Reggie last week. And Caidan, we love you. We are your brothers, and we'll see you soon, brother.
Oh, yeah. And also, our thoughts and prayers go out to the family of Mr. James Harris, a.k.a. Kamala, for those old school wrestling fans that know who he is.
Oh, yeah. One of my earliest memories of wrestling is watching Kamala. So, I mean, I definitely grew up on Kamala.
Man, it's sad that we're losing our legends daily.
Well, like, you know, The Undertaker being one of my favorite wrestlers, and he not starting off as a face, he started off as a heel. And when he moved into the face realm, the first
match he had as a face?
the first rivalry.
Yes.
I remember him having as a face was with Kamala.
Yes.
When he made the giant casket with Kamala's little titty paint, like painted on the casket or whatever, you know, his little nipple paint, or whatever it was, the little sun and stars or.
Oh, yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah. So Kamala was definitely.
He helped launch, he launched that as a.
He played a great monstrous heel to launch a lot of faces in that new generation WWE.
Oh yeah, like Kamala he will always be a true legend. He really will be.
So much respect to Kamala. Yeah. Oh, here we got whip him out. But
oh yeah.
That one's for you, Kamala. My pasty white fish belly out for. That's right. I sacrificed a little bit of dignity in Kamala's memory, and that's my way of honoring him.
So we start the night off with Samoa Joe hosting the contract signing between Seth Rollins and Dominic Mysterio.
Oh yeah, little Dom's going to come sign 2 contracts. Going to sign not only the match with Seth, which I don't know why they do a contract signing for a non-title match, but whatever, you got to get him out there. But he's also going to be signing his WWE superstar contract.
Well, and congratulations to the kid. I mean, he grew up in the business.
I was kind of hoping, since this was going to be his signing his contract, he'd actually come out in some ring gear, but he came out in his jeans and a t-shirt looking terrified, but with a kendo stick. And
I mean, they cut some promos in that.
They did. They signed their stuff. Seth kicked him out of the ring and said he had a match with Humberto, and the match kicked off. And actually, Humberto looked pretty good in this match. He didn't look like a complete chump, but we all knew he was going to eat the pin. And eventually, he's got Seth down. He gets in the top rope. Murphy hops on the apron. Dom kendos the legs, but he gives Seth enough time with the distraction to recover. Humberto tries to do the moonsaults, catches him boot in the face, stomp, or curb stomp. Good night. Match is over. Afterwards, they tie up Dom in the ropes, and then they just work his ass over.
Beat the hell out of the kid, man. Welcome to the WWE, man.
Yeah, he kept saying, that, hey, let the rookie earn his stripes. And I don't think that was necessarily completely a kayfabe line. I think that might have been a little bit of rookie hazing for the new kid.
Oh, no, it ain't done. It ain't done. Let the kid earn his stripes. His dad will understand.
Yeah. But Seth taught his dad a little bit. It was a pretty good, it definitely built up some anger towards Seth. So it was an effective, all around for what it was supposed to do.
For sure.
The whole thing.
But I just think Dom, he just don't sound intense enough for me, man. I'm not buying it.
No, he needs to work on it and build it because he's got a soft voice like his dad's. And when you have that soft voice, you have to try and bring the intensity when you speak. And that's something Rey Mysterio has perfected over years and years. Dom will get there.
Yeah, he will get there. I believe in the kid. Yeah. I wish him very well. I'm actually a fan of him.
I am too. The high spot he hit last week off the top rope onto the outside, like he's obviously showing some willingness to risk his body. He's bigger than his dad. I'm hoping he, I just hope he goes complete lucha. I hope he dons a mask. I hope he follows in that tradition.
Oh yeah, I'm sure his dad will be proud of him. Rest in peace, Eddie.
So pretty horrific to watch Dom get worked over by the 2 of them, but he's going to have a hardcore match with Seth Rollins at SummerSlam, which would be pretty good. But again, it begs the question. You've got, Ray, Dom, Alistair, Humberto, and KO all pissed at, Seth and Murphy. That's 5 on 2, as I keep mentioning. Alistair and Ray are out. But we know KO was in the damn building. Humberto just got beat up. Where was KO to make any of that save?
I can't answer that, man.
Yep,
I really can't.
It's no consider because we've already because KO's moved on to Randy tonight. We've already forgotten that KO had anything to do with Seth, even though logically it makes sense that KO would want to come out and be a part of helping this situation out.
Yeah.
Plus, it plays into his new character of being the helper. It was still he didn't come out and help. So, but again, it was mostly just so Dom could get his stripes on television, and kudos to him. Let's hope he goes on from here.
Oh yeah.
All right. So what's up next?
So next up, we have a match between Angelo Dawkins and Andrade. They started out.
It was not a match. It was Andrade getting taken to a woodshed by Dawkins.
I'm telling you, Dawkins looked massive. Massive in that.
Dawkins whipped his ass. Selena tried to get up on the apron, and when she did that,
Bianca Belair just came
to ringside and snatched her ass off that apron. Dawkins hit what was it called?
It's a spine buster, but they call it the cash out.
Single arm spine buster, the cash out. Hits the cash out for the 1, 2, 3. Dawkins goes over Andrade, which was
damn near was a squash, man.
I was surprised by it, yeah.
Like, Angelo Dawkins looked good in it.
So Bianca tried. Oh, he looked great in it. He looked absolutely fantastic in that. I guess I was surprised because of how much he's not really stood out as a single star because Ford's the bigger personality in that group. But Ford.
I think they did this because just to show, hey, this is the intense one.
Yeah. No, it did good for him because giving him a victory over Andrade and a dominant one. Andrade's been seen as a strong singles competitor already.
Yes.
So this win was good for Ford's. It was good for his stock overall.
They actually told a good story in this, man.
Unfortunately, I think though with what happens next, I think it's kind of with the way they book. Since he wins this match, and then spoiler alert, we got a match between Selena and Bianca after this.
Yeah. And
it was kind of like the Cesaro-Lince Dorado match from SmackDown where Bianca was just kind of the base while Selena did gymnastic moves off of her. But Bianca's power eventually wins her this match. And so you had both the people on the Street Profits team, Bianca and Dawkins, both going over tonight, which, if the way they book is any indication, that means that the Angel and Andrade are probably going to go over at SummerSlam.
I'm not sure, but we could talk about that in the prediction video.
We will. I hope they don't. I kind of like the Street Profits with the title, and I hope Bianca becomes a regular part of their little stable.
I hope so too, man. It's a good look for all parties in this.
Bianca looked great in this. I enjoyed watching her. I want to see more of her. Stature-wise, I want to see her match up against Lacey Evans or Charlotte Flair sometime.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
So, again, I hope to see more of them.
All right, next up, we have a very special edition of the VIP Lounge where MVP came to air out his grievances about the problems that are going on with, the generators being broken and set on fire, lights going, flickering on and off.
Long story short, he blames the lights for his loss, and then he blames Apollo for the lights.
I mean, it's true, isn't it?
Well, I don't know that. We know Apollo didn't cause the lights. We know it's the Vince McMahon's Antifa that caused the lights.
Yeah, but we'll get to that after this match.
I think I've said all I need to on that.
Okay. But, Apollo Crews, he comes out and he cuts this promo that actually makes me cringe. He called himself a very bad man.
Again, soft voice, didn't come out right. Yeah. I mean, it was kind of funny him gloating about having the title that MVP spent all the money on. But yeah, ultimately, it was kind of a cringeworthy promo. It was not great.
I mean, don't get me wrong. I like the guy. I really do.
I do too.
I think he's very talented.
I would put Apollo.
I can't buy his intensity.
Yeah, I'm going to put Apollo and Dom in that same category of guys who are talented that I really enjoy that someone needs to coach them on how to cut a promo.
I'll say this. His wrestling is intense. His promos aren't. But I believe he is a very talented man. I believe he still has a great future. Like, this isn't over for him.
No, completely. Like, Apollo is not going to come out the other side of this feud with MVP with the title, I don't think, because MVP and the Hurt Business are much more profitable as far as keeping, or they're much more interesting. People are going to want to be are more engaged by them or whatever.
Great heels.
Yeah. So eventually I think that title is going to be slapped on Bobby or Shelton through some sort of nefarious means.
Yeah. But this VIP lounge, I mean, they tried to jump Apollo. Apollo slid in the ring, punched MVP, and then threw a couch at the guys.
Threw a damn couch at the men.
Threw a couch. That was intense.
Why are you going to throw a couch at somebody? That's fucked up.
Like, I'm telling you, like, your couch.
Fuck your couch.
Yeah. But this leads into a match between Apollo Crews and Shelton Benjamin. They did some basic wrestling in this. Like,
these guys are so talented as far as just being pure athletes and wrestlers go. I really would like to have seen them have some build up to a title match at a pay-per-view and in a different storyline, not in this storyline. Just saying, like, if I wish I could see these two talented men in something that was built up that could be a pay-per-view that had like 20 minutes with the title on the line, because they are so good.
They really are.
I would just like to see them go yard. You know what I mean?
It's like they showed out their talents in this. They really did.
I would watch a Shelton Benjamin and Apollo Crews Iron Man match.
I would too. That'd be great. Of course, the MVP and Lashley did their certain interferences in this. Lashley interfered. Benjamin wins by roll up.
Good for Benjamin. Good for Shelton getting a win. I mean, again, I always say it doesn't make anybody look good when they steal one, but for heels, I guess the game's a little bit different. Yeah.
And the win does make sense. It does.
With the Hurt Business losing all their matches last week, they needed some victories this week, so it was the right call to have them look a little bit stronger than they did.
So as the L's taken by Cruz, Lashley tries to come in and give him the full Nelson, but MVP stops him. He said no, he don't want no excuses for when he beats him at SummerSlam. Yeah,
he tells Apollo, man, I'm looking out for you. And Apollo responds by kicking him in the head and bailing.
Give him the mean insecurity and then rolls out.
Which I can't blame the guy.
I can't blame him. So now, after that, we get into what they call Retribution, who just threw a cinder block through the window. I mean, seriously, man. Like, I'm not buying it. I'm not buying it. Like, really, what kind of jackass just takes a serious issue from real life society and just turns into a wrestling gimmick?
So up next, we get a promo backstage and we get an interview. It's Mickie James and she's back and she gets interrupted by Lana and Natty, which they're going to have a match at some point in time. Natty and Mickie are, but I mean, the Natty and Lana thing is kind of, yeah. I guess it gives Natty and Lana something to do.
I guess so, but Mickie said something that I totally agree with. I'm not sure this is borderline shoot or not, but she told Natalya, hey, you're too talented for this.
It's very true. That woman's a heart. She should be doing things like Charlotte Flair. She should be she should be held in the same regard as Charlotte Flair. And instead she's just trying to hang on the fringes of that mid card, that lower mid card. She's the Dolph Ziggler of the female division.
She really is, man. Like it's ridiculous. I feel like she should be doing more too, but I mean, what you can only do so much with that big of a roster and that time limit. You can only do so much with those women.
All right. So after we get the MJ and Natty getting in each other's faces, we go to a 8-man tag match with the Viking Raiders, Ricochet, and Cedric Alexander versus Akira Tozawa and 3 of his ninjas. Yeah. This was not a match.
This is a throwaway.
This was just Cedric and the Viking Raiders hitting a couple of big spots and winning. But after they beat up 2 of the ninjas, Akira tries to send the third one, and the third one's like,
nope, let's go.
Let's just bail, man. And they're bailing up the ring, up the ramp, and we
see referee Aja Smith coming down the ramp.
She kind of gives the shrug. Ninja rolls up Akira Tozawa, pulls up the mask, and it's
R-Truth. Like, who would have thought it? He gets his baby back.
He gets that, books, and again, this was filler. But yeah, it was what it was. I don't have a lot to say about it because, like, you got to see the big guys hit some big moves, and these ninjas, poor bastards, just getting thrown around every week. And then you got, I guess it's creative to see how Truth pops up and, how Akira and him trade the pins. But I mean,
so he's a 39 times.
I don't know. This whole thing is getting really Roadrunner Wile E. Coyote. I'm waiting for the time that R-Truth paints a fucking tunnel on a wall for Akira to run into, because that's going to happen eventually.
Oh, just think better. It's R-Truth. He'll really make that happen.
Listen, Tozawa, if you watch this show, I can only give you one piece of advice, and that is do not buy Acme equipment. All right? It never works properly. Just saying.
Ask Wiley about it.
So after that, we cut to Drew doing an interview backstage, and he's as intense as ever.
BMF.
Yeah. Not a whole lot to say here. Drew's just amazing on the microphone and captivating. Love to hear him talk because you believe every word he says. He can sell it, and the intensity he sells every time. Like, the man's captivating. That's why we keep saying it needs to be an action movie.
Exactly. Just high flying, intense things blowing up in the background. Action movie.
Him squaring off against Dolph Lundgren.
Yeah.
I'd pay to see that. So after this, we get a match between Liv Morgan and Peyton Royce, and eventually Ruby inadvertently costs Liv the match. So there's obviously some tension going on between those two. So they're finding ways to keep the Iconics versus the Riot Squad rivalry going and keep the tension going between Liv and Ruby a little bit. So
Peyton Royce is talented, man.
She is super talented.
She's very talented.
That is the thing that no one's going to take away from this. What we are going to take away from this is that this storyline is going to continue for another damn week. So it's effective in that. But yeah, Peyton Royce is great. I like Billy Kay a lot. But Peyton Royce might be a better wrestler.
I mean, we don't see Billy Kay in much singles action.
No, I wish I could see them both fighting more. Not that I don't enjoy their backstage gimmicks. Anytime they're on screen, I'm happy. I like the Iconics.
It's iconic.
All right.
So next we get a segment of Raw Underground with some guys.
Yeah, I didn't catch the person because they always pick one person you're supposed to pay attention to, and then they beat up some chump. And I didn't pay attention to who I was supposed to because I thought the blonde guy was Dolph Ziggler, and it was only like till the match was starting to end when I realized it wasn't Dolph Ziggler, and I was supposed to be paying attention to the other guy. Yeah. So I don't know what his name is.
I don't know. We'll figure it out.
Yeah, and I don't have Caidan here.
We miss you, man.
No, I'm not going to work in these conditions. I'm done. Can't get up. I'm drunk. All right, I'm staying, but only because I can't stand up.
Okay. Okay.
So after this, we get Asuka versus Bayley to see if Asuka's going to punch her ticket to SummerSlam against Sasha. And this one was a little more even than a typical Bayley match.
Like, Asuka started off kicking the crap out of Bayley.
She did, but when Bayley was on top, she was gloating a little more, making it look a little easy. They have a tendency to sell that way as heels, to be like, once they're on top, they pretend like they haven't taken any damage in the match, and they're just kind of, I can take my time and do my thing. Yeah, I don't know, whatever.
But Bayley does.
I'm nitpicking, I think, but yeah, because I don't like him. Bayley ends up working the leg.
Yeah, good work on the leg, but at the end of it all, Asuka wins by submission.
Gets the Asuka lock in and just taps Bayley out real quick. So
definitely makes Asuka look strong.
It did make it definitely made the Asuka lock look deadly. I would say it did more for the Asuka lock than it did for Asuka this match. But Asuka does punch her ticket to SummerSlam to face Sasha. However, I want to throw this out there. They were showing the promos for the women's battle royale to see who's going to face Bayley. And in those promos, they kept showing clips of Asuka. So do you think Asuka is going to be in the battle royale as well? And what if she wins and she gets a chance to take on Bayley and Sasha at SummerSlam? What if she takes both their belts and she becomes two belts Asuka?
Yeah, Asuka 2 belts or whatever they want to call it.
I mean, again, as we've said before, when it comes to Bayley and Sasha, there's so many ways you can make them implode that they've written themselves in a good place. So you can write it any way. Have them keep belts and have their egos fight each other, have them lose belts and have them get pissed off at each other and blame each other. There's so many things you can do.
All right, so next up we go to another segment on Raw Underground, a.k.a. NWA TNA
/ Shotgun Saturday Night 2.0 / WWE Fight Club / You're Not Fooling Anybody. This is a lame ratings grab that we're not interested in.
And we pay attention to a guy named Arturo Ruiz. That's his name, right?
Yeah, that's the Brazilian dude who was a 17-time amateur Brazilian wrestling champion. He came out and did a couple of capoeira kicks, knocked the dude out.
Beat the hell out of the guy, honestly.
Yeah, because they're picking one dude to, showcase, and the other guy's just a chump you don't need to pay attention to. So
we go into commercial. Then we go into after the commercial, we go into another segment of Raw Underground where we see the return of Dabakato. That's how you say his name, right?
Yeah, Bubba Cottage.
Yeah, whatever. But another very huge guy, actually. He's a very huge guy. So I don't know why he had to squeeze on the man's junk to beat him. Like, you could beat him surely on size, but you just decided to grab the man's member.
Yeah, it wasn't even like a defense thing. He just grabbed his... It was funny because he grabbed his dick, screamed in his face, and then knocked him out. Like, I was like, okay. But here's the thing. Like, if you're watching, like, a movie that was like a battlefield type thing, and, like, one of the dudes grabbed one of the enemy's junks and screamed in his face, then, like, ran him through, you'd be like, fuck yeah, do whatever's necessary to win. This is supposed to be that kind of raw, do whatever's necessary to win. There's no rules. So situation.
Twist.
Hey, you know.
I haven't seen that since China, man.
You mean when someone grabbed her balls, or?
No, that was her defense mechanism.
Oh.
I was kind of turned on by that.
So is Sean Waltman. All right. So after Bubba Sparks gets done beating up that guy.
You see Shayna Baszler come back out, man.
And Shane McMahon's like, who wants a piece of Shayna? No one steps up. So Shayna walks out of the crowd and starts beating this chick up. And her friend steps in and is like, get off of her, and starts fighting her. And then Shayna beats her up. And this blonde girl runs in. So like 3 women are in there trying to beat up Shayna Baszler. And Shayna Baszler just whips all their butts. So,
Shayna Baszler, another BMF.
Yep.
Just beat the crap out of 3 women. Nothing huge.
I would say this is a waste of time, but Raw is so fucking long and so filled with commercials and flashbacks to what just happened even earlier in the night or what happened last week, and just so much filler and bullshit. I guess it's something new to look at, so fine. Keep doing it. It would be more interesting, though, if it was like the wrestlers I knew fighting each other in this way. Like, why don't you get the guys you used to have on like Main Event and Superstars and like the C-level shows, have them doing this stuff. I mean, you had Dolph last week. I mean, fuck.
I can't disagree. Next up, we have Kevin Owens versus Randy Orton. Now, this is one of the matches we've been anticipating for all night.
I was looking forward to this one as well. We knew exactly how it was going to go. The only thing refreshing about it was that KO got in more offense than I thought he would.
Yeah, which they both look tough. It was a good, strong looking match on both ends.
KO didn't look bad at all. He did not come out on this one looking bad. He put in a good fight. He had Randy down and started to stalk Randy the way Randy does because, KO's a smart ass, but ended up costing him. He went for a stunner. Randy blocks it, hits the RKO, 1, 2, 3. Randy walks out of this one with the win. But Randy doesn't go after KO after this match because KO wasn't really on his hit list to begin with.
No.
And we find out that he's upset that he had to fight KO in the first place because before he can start celebrating and Rick's in the ring with him, he tells Rick, hey, Rick, stick around because we need to talk a little bit. Go to commercial, come back. They're still in the ring. And Randy's like, I should be so pissed at you, Rick, but I can't be mad at you because your ego drove me into this match that I didn't need to be in. He's like, you're a liability, so I don't love you or respect you anymore. He just goes, he lays it on him.
Oh, man, this is a heartbreaking segment. It
really was. Yeah. He tells Rick that the reason why Rick took him under his wing all those years ago is because Rick wished that, Randy was the son he never had, which was a low damn blow.
Like, whoa.
If you guys know anything about Ric Flair's history and his sons, that's a pretty crappy thing to say. But Rick takes the mic from him, and instead of being angry, Rick tries to kind of win Randy back. He's like, he's like, no, I'm not, I'm broken. I'm not the man I used to be. Like you said,
this is a tear-jerking segment.
It was. He's like, I'm Charlotte's dad now. And I want to be there when you break my record because you're the greatest now. And I want you to be the man who breaks my record, and it was nice. And then, Randy throws the microphone away and hugs Rick. And you think everything's well, and Rick turns his back, and Randy gives him that old Ric Flair low blow.
Played his own game on him.
Mm-hmm.
They're just playing the game, got his own game played on him.
And that might be a more appropriate send-off for Ric Flair than the match against Shawn Michaels.
I think so.
Getting fucked over by somebody after what Ric Flair's been a career out of doing, which is fucking people over.
I'm not gonna comment on that.
Well, no. I'm not saying it like shoot wise. I'm not saying in kayfabe the character is known for like double crossing. That's the gimmick.
Yeah, I know.
He's the dirtiest player in the game, and to go out after having a dirty move done on you and then getting punted into the head. And plus, Rick wanted to give that to Randy.
Yeah,
you know how much you loved him,
of course.
So I like the segment.
Rick loves the business.
Mm-hmm.
Now that's a shoot. Yeah, he loves the business. He finding out ways to stay into the business no matter what. That's why he don't mind being Charlotte's dad now.
No, and he's been cutting some promos lately that have been like, "Oh, Rick doesn't really have it anymore," and I was completely wrong for thinking that because he showed tonight that the man still has it. He can still hit a nerve, emotion. It was really good. So he hits the low blow on Rick, then punts him, and Drew ends up running out there and running Randy off, and
a little too late, but.
He's like, even Rick, Randy, you evil son of a bitch. He's like, I'm gonna hurt you. I'm gonna kick your fuck. He was just Drew was intense. So that's how we end the night with Drew kind of looking over Rick, staring down Randy while he's at the top of the ramp. But all in all, it was a better night of wrestling than we got on SmackDown this last week. But I still think SmackDown's a better show just because it might be shorter. They have less filler, and plus I love Bray.
Oh, yeah, true.
But Drew's amazing. I want more Drew. I'm upset when I don't get to see him fight every week because it's amazing to see the guy just beat the piss out of somebody. But this week was it was very effective. I would call this a utility week. It was very effective. It was very effective at moving everything forward, but it did so in an entertaining enough way that I didn't hate sitting through all 3 hours of it this time. So.
Yeah, it was a necessary episode of Raw. I give it thumbs up.
Yeah, I will not bash on this episode. It was what it was, but it was good enough to be passable.
Yeah, for sure, man.
Thank you guys so much for hanging out with us. We'll be back with you Saturday with our SmackDown review, and hopefully we will do our SummerSlam preview for you sometime next week.
Yeah. And once again, guys, like, share, subscribe. Please tell your friends to like, share, and subscribe too. I mean, we love doing this for you.
It's true. And, I also would really like to be monetized because I would like someone to foot the bill for my heavy, heavy alcoholism.